Lami Bawa Bwari, do solemnly swear and affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and that I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, so help me God.
That was the swearing-in ceremony of Honorable Justice Aisha Lami Bawa Bwari as the 8th Chief Judge of Niger State. With this epoch-making event, Justice Bwari becomes the second Gbagi female Chief Judge in Niger State. There is cause to celebrate and rejoice among the Gbagis in their rich and exciting dance culture. They are one of the most prominent ethnic groups in Niger State, and Justice Aisha Lami Bawa Bwari is a daughter of the Gbagis.
This is a story of a jurist par excellence in Niger State and beyond. A great achiever with a legacy of accomplishments.
Purchase your tracks today.
Join me as we make open our accomplishments in this documentary titled From Our Humble Beginning to the Crest.
Gbada, this small community of farmers and pocket of civil servants, is behind Gidamongoro, Bida Road, in the neighborhood of the Federal University of Technology, FUT Minna. Gbada is in Boso local government area of Niger State. On the 27th of February 1957, Justice Aisha Lami Bawa Bwari had her first breath of life here.
Justice Aisha Bawa Bwari, Chak Parade Kajo wo latna. Wotne wo lain gaskiya ayila ya sosai ko aka tuwa kun wa fin yebo
The first daughter of a one-time renowned large-scale yam farmer and a courageous hunter, Malam Abdullahi Zagi Kuremi Boso. Aisha grew up in this settlement of Gbada, but at about 2.5 years old, she was taken to her maternal grandfather, Malam Abubakar Sani Bello, the then district head of Boso on Boso Hill.
All the present-day Boso, the natives were all on the hill. As far as I'm concerned, I knew I got there at just about 3 years, 2 years after my birth or so. But that should be at about the 60s.
Her ancestors were known to have located and acquired this brook covered with leaves, known in Gbagi language as Gbada, from where the settlement gets its name, Gbada. Aisha Bwari fetched and drank from this brook.
This is where Chief Judge was here as age of 3-4 years. This is where she be coming to fetch her water, using the water for cooking, using the water for bathing and other things.
Making flour from corn with a grinding stone is a skill known to most Gbagi females, including Aisha Bwari.
Whatever they do, I was interested, very, very interested in doing it. And I followed them, the river, going for firewood, grinding, pounding the guinea corn, husking the guinea corn in the mortar, whatever they do, I was much involved.
The very calabash she used as a teenager is amongst the ancient days items preserved in their family archive of artifacts. Aisha, like most Gbagis, carried her calabash of woods on her shoulders to distant markets, especially to Kpakungu, about 7 kilometers away from Gbada.
Of course, when I'm on holidays, when they come into town to sell firewood, I take my own beat, and actually some of my schoolmates around Kpakungu area, they recognize that this cancer girls from our school, and I felt nothing about. I felt very proud, and yes, of it.
Aisha's humble beginning in formal education was partly in Maiduguri, Ilorin, and in Minna. Her primary education was with these influential Nigerites as her school and classmates. A Minna-based legal practitioner and senior advocate of Nigeria's son, Ibrahim Isiaku, a retired permanent secretary, and the Queen of Paiko, Elizabeth Shaba, including the Emir of Minna, Dr. Umar Faruk Bahagu, who wrote these about her in a book.
We are all proud of you because you have been a worthy daughter and our ambassador, a judge of high personal repute and composure, and one with a compassionate heart that is always propelled and guided by the desire to uphold the principle of justice, fairness, and due consideration for the poor and the downtrodden.
Honorable Justice Bwari is to me a mother, a sister, a colleague, and a friend. And in her position as a judge in good bosom, the law lies, she is my teacher. I should know her, and I truly do.
She's a Jean and workaholic. She's a person that stands on the truth. That's one thing I know her with. And once she knows anything is not right, she shouldn't involve herself into it. Even in friends, she's very selective.
This is Father O'Connell Secondary School, Minna, one of the leading secondary schools in Nigeria. Aisha Lami Bwari is a product of the school. She was there between 1969 and 1973. 1974 to 1976, she obtained a diploma certificate in law at the Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria. June 1976. 19 years old Aisha Bwari began her career as an assistant registrar in this building, then a chief magistrate court, railway station, Minna. A position she briefly held to commence her law program with the Ahmadu Bello University, ABU Zaria, and graduated in 1980.
Though different faculties, different departments, but we were all housed in the same hostel. And she had another friend who was a blockmate of mine. She's from River State. And that's how we kicked off. And I just found her to be a very, very an amiable woman. She was never quick to temper. She has this, when I say an amiable person, I mean it in all its own ramifications.
She has leadership quality. She respects people. I can tell you, I have been to her place, and I see as old as she is, she will kneel down and greet her elders. Alhaji Bwari is late now, and he has another wife, and the children of his brothers, maybe, and sisters. There are so many people in that house. She is the one handling everything of that house.
Upon completion of the Nigeria Law School, Lagos, as a barrister at law, her National Youth Service NYSC was with the Niger State Ministry of Justice, Minna. She became the second Gbagi-speaking woman in Niger State to become a barrister.
The idea of
me and my sister becoming lawyers was not planned. It is an act of God. We give God all the glory. As two sisters growing in a house, we went to the same law school, and by the time we came out, somehow we all took to the judiciary and ended up as chief judges. As a child, I saw her as a big sister, and of course, whatever interested her, I think was my interest. Mostly, we grew up together, and everything of ours, we explore, we did so many things together, and we looked on her or upon her as a big sister, and of course, she led the way.
1980, she was appointed a higher registrar. In 1982, magistrate grade 2, acting chief magistrate grade 2, 1983, magistrate grade 1, 1984, senior magistrate grade 1, 1990, and chief magistrate grade 1, 1986 to 1991. Appointments and promotions kept coming. A chief registrar in Niger State High Court 1991 to 1994, Solicitor General cum Director General, Ministry of Justice 1994 to 1998.
But we became much closer when she became the Solicitor and Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Justice. By then I was a Director of Public Prosecution, DPP. I worked under her. She's a very nice woman, very articulate, very compassionate, and legally she was also very good.
Bwari is an amiable person, and so many people have said so, and I attest to that too. She's gentle, she's friendly, she's determined, she's focused. I would say she's one incorruptible person. She strikes her axe where justice stands.
Aisha Bwari, at the top of the ladder of her appointments, was sworn in as an High Court judge on the 16th of April 1998, a position she held and served creditably to the admiration of all for close to 12 years.
What kept us together with Justice Bwari is trust. She's a very trustful judge of high repute. She's an incorruptible judge.
Auntie Lami is a very calm person. She empathizes with people a lot. That is, she puts herself in other people's position. So once you have a problem, she is a go-to person. You can run to her and be sure that your problems are going to be solved.
And she's a woman of her word. When she says yes, it's yes. And if she said no, it stands no. And she never showed differences between her people. Everybody is equal.
October 23rd, 2020, Aisha Lami Bawa Bwari reached the pinnacle of her career. She was sworn in as the Chief Judge of Niger State. Within 16 months in office, characterized by COVID-19, she strove to record some tremendous accomplishments. The third female Chief Judge renovated and furnished High Court 8 and beautified the entire complex with solar lights. Kontagora Judicial Division stands out as the greatest beneficiary of her tenure, where a befitting High Court replaced the old structure.
Honestly, the former Chief Judge has done marvelously well in Niger State, particularly in Kontagora Division, because formerly, if you know this court compared to what it is now, you will not recognize it.
Rijau High Court, which has been idle due to insecurity and bad road in that part of the state, was gazetted to operate in Kontagora High Court premises.
Well, if you look at this thing, before there was no any building here except the front one. When you look at the front one, as of that time, it's not as it is now. The second one is being erected.
The renovatory and furnishing works was extended to Kuta High Court.
The beauty of these works is that the financing was from the meager resources available to the High Court. Each and every project was documented to set as template to have quality outcome that will stand the test of time and set as a precedence.
Justice Aisha Lami Bawa Bwari is an easygoing person, always talk less and unassuming. Most, particularly when we are practicing as a lawyer, you only heard her from her judgment. When you read her judgment, she hardly talks and interferes with proceedings in court. So she has a very good relationship with people.
Sabondaga in Boso local government area and Gbara in Mokwa local government area now have a magistrate court each, courtesy of Justice Bwari. Administration has gone far in the process of appointing 3 High Court judges and 2 Qadis of Sharia Court of Appeal. 7 registrars were elevated as Sharia Court judges. Some qualified lawyers were upgraded as legal assistants to High Court judges.
When I came out from the law school, I was taught the thing is Herculean, but now I'm acquainted with it. Thank God for my Lord for giving me this opportunity.
Justice Bwari evolved a novelty with the appointment of 133 commissioners for oaths for both High Courts and Sharia Court of Appeal. Customized terms, point-of-sales POS machines were assigned to them to curtail illegal stamping of documents and to ensure effective revenue collection in collaboration with State Board of Internal Revenue. Niger State Judicial Service Commission, under her watch, cleared the backlog of staff promotions from 2016 to 2021.
Today is a memorable day, a day on which I will take my final bow and bid farewell to my brothers, the honorable judges, Qadis, magistrates and Sharia Court judges, as well as other staff of the Niger State Judiciary. Today is indeed a day that will forever remain a memorable one.
Justice Aisha Bwari, after 4.5 decades of meritorious service, replete with outstanding accomplishments, bowed out of service in retirement gracefully. It was a 2-day red carpet reception in her honor. She was celebrated with a valedictory court session and a state dinner at the Justice Idris Legbo Kutigi International Conference Center, Minna. Justice Aisha Bwari, the 8th Chief Judge, the 2nd Gbagi female Chief Judge, and the 3rd female Chief Judge in Niger State, inspected the parade in her honor. Justice Halima Abdulmalik, who was sworn in as acting Chief Judge by Governor Abubakar Sani Bello, was full of words for her predecessor.
Indeed, my Lord has paid her dues, and it is time to break new grounds and pursue new interests in your desire for self-fulfillment. We just pray that my Lord will not be tired to share her wealth of experience with younger and upcoming jurists. We also pray that my Lord will willingly offer herself whenever the judiciary comes beckoning for assistance.
Then came the floodgate of tributes, both at the valedictory session and the state dinner.
Never forget So when you talk about somebody being a friend indeed, a friend in need and a friend indeed, that is who she is.
Your very modest achievement. I know you wanted the work that you did in Portogora, the building of the court to be commissioned. Unfortunately, that could not be done. However, we celebrate you and thank you for doing that beautiful job.
During whose tenure as the Chief Judge of Niger State recorded 3 senior advocates of Nigeria.
Quintessential judge without any means of exaggeration, I wish to put the facts on record that Niger State Judiciary is going to be devoid of one judge whose presence exudes the quality of a responsible judicial officer.
One thing that I've seen that you have done that is spectacular is the way you handle issues. Even at the JSC, my Lord is usually very meticulous. When there's an issue to be discussed, she takes her time to look at, in fact, she reads the minutes religiously, line by line.
Highlights of Honor. That was a chronicle of Justice Aisha Bwari, written by a lawyer and biographer, Rabiu Panuku, presented by His Excellency Governor Abubakar Sani Bello.
But a very special day with mixed emotions. Here I am, celebrating a performing, outgoing Chief Judge that I would have loved to stay longer. But at the same time, I also have a performing, incoming, acting Chief Judge that I can't wait to resume into office. So I don't know which is which.
Close to 16 years, Justice Bwari sat on electoral disputes, either as the chairman or a member in Ekiti, Edo, Oyo, Ogun, Lagos, Enugu, Gombe, Ondo, Kebbi, and Kwara states. She was widely known as an expert in solving electoral disputes since 1992, when she chaired the local government election tribunal in Niger State. The retired chief judge is a widow who lost her husband, Alhaji Muhammad Bawa Bwari, in 1993.
Their eldest brother was up to the task because he was grown up then and he helped in no small measure in seeing that he got them disciplined and stood as the male figure.
However, she successfully raised all her children.
Education was her priority. Hygiene, respect to elders, no matter the status quo. That was basically her priority while we were growing up. Alhamdulillah, she did a good job with all of us, not just her. My late stepmom was alive then. So the 10 of us grew up under their wings, and I would say Alhamdulillah, they did a very good job with us. The beating, the scolding, the punishments, we are enjoying the fruits of that right now.
There's a complexity of characters in her because she had to play so many different roles. Unlike, I would say, the ordinary household, she was and is the breadwinner, playing the role of, father and mother at the same time.
She's someone who's very outspoken, someone who listens. She's a mother. In fact, she's every gift a child would want to have.
She's a mother with a good teaching, basically selfless, considerate, and very, very strict. She doesn't play with us at all. When it comes to that kind of strictness, we've learned massively lot.
A member of 9 voluntary organizations, which include the International Association of Women Lawyers and Judges, Women in Development, Surreptimist International Club, Women's Right Advancement and Protection Alternative, RAPA, amongst others. Indeed, Honorable Justice Aisha Lami Bawa Bwari is a woman of honor. She will be remembered for her modest accomplishments, an incorruptible judge, a humble woman who climbed her enviable professional ladder with humility to the top.
Purchase